America has Madonna and Malta has Chiara. You are a huge star. What's day-to-day life like in Malta for you, being such an icon?
It is, it's a very small island, so it is very difficult to have a private life. I think that on such a small island, it's like you give away, when you get into this scene, you give away a lot. But then in time, you get used to it, you know, so it is nice because you do get pampered most of the time. You know, you get special treatments and special, like, free drinks and everything because it's Chiara, you know,
yes,
so it's good to be Chiara in a small island.
Yes.
It is good.
You have a great, I love this, the look you have at the moment, you know, the hair and things, but of course it's very different.
From the Chiara, from Eurovision.
Eurovision.
I know.
Is that purposely done? Or is it just that you thought, hey, I'm going to go for a brand new look? Or what inspired the new Chiara we see now?
To be honest, I've always been this kind of person, but for Eurovision they always try to tone you down. So this is the real me, and this is how I feel comfortable. But things are getting worse. The more I grow, the worse it's getting. Okay. So I don't know what it is, but it's like maybe trying to keep myself as young as possible, probably.
There's nothing wrong in that.
No.
Well, if that is the case, you're doing a fantastic job. As I say, you look great. We can't avoid talking a bit about Eurovision. And so it was back in 1998 in my hometown, Birmingham, that you first performed.
The one that I love.
And that year, near the end, you were tying with Dana, and then sadly you didn't get any points from Macedonia.
From Macedonia. Something for you to know is that Macedonia never gave me any points. 3 years I was there.
Really?
Never.
That's really interesting.
So I'm kind of, you know, I finally accepted that I'm not their kind of music, I must admit.
So no recent holidays to Macedonia?
No.
How did you feel though, doing so well, but being so close to the
Yeah, to be honest, it was, for me personally, it was very disappointing. I remember before the last vote, I remember Kevin Bishop, which I think of, you know, from BBC, and he came up to me and he said, take off your tag because you're going to sing again. And I was like, what? I won? And then all of a sudden, cameras turned to Israel and she won. So it was very disappointing, very disappointing. I remember going to my dressing room and I was crying and I didn't want to see anyone, I didn't want to talk to anyone. And I remember Katrina from Katrina and the Waves, she came to my room and she was trying to talk to me and to tell me, listen, this is good, but I only could see the bad side of it at that moment. Then I called a friend of mine in Malta and he said, why are you feeling like that? Malta it's a feast, everyone's shouting, everyone's in the streets, everyone is really happy. So then slowly, after about maybe 2 hours, I actually realized it was a good thing. Yeah, it's very hard. I always explain it like it's like if you're a little girl and someone gives you sweets and then takes them back immediately, it's very disappointing.
Yeah.
You know, I must say the feeling of like 2009 when I was 22, that I can accept more kind of than second and third, because second and third are so close that it's you feel it much more. The loss is greater.
And when you returned from Birmingham back to Malta, you know, you just said it was like a feast. Now, they have a lot of feasts in Malta. So that must have been a huge party atmosphere there.
It was.
Yeah.
There were around 6,000 or 7,000 people at the airport.
Wow.
And if you've been to Malta, the airport is very small, so I don't know how they fit, but they were there. And I remember the policemen saying like they had to escort me through the people, and I remember them grabbing me from under my arms, and they said, okay, be careful, there's steps, and my feet were like this in the air. They were just carrying me through the people, and it was really nice. That is, I think that's one of the best memories I have from Eurovision.
Yeah.
So.
And then we fast forward to 2005, and in the Ukraine, in Kiev, and you come second that time. So even closer still.
But further with points.
Yes.
I had a bigger gap
Yes.
per points with concern, because the first time it was 7, I think, 7 points.
Very close.
And the second time was 30 something.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a lot of places to do the promotion for Eurovision for the Song of Malta in a lot of countries, especially to Greece. That year I went a lot to Greece. I went even when they chose the song for Helena, so I was there when they chose #1. Everywhere I went, all the interviewers, all TV stations, all radio stations, they all said the same thing. So it's either Malta or Greece. So we knew that we were the runners, you know. So I kind of expected it, to be honest, that Greece would win. But I mean, Angel is my own song, so
Yeah.
I
And
believe
it's a
in
beautiful
it
song.
more than
Yeah.
any other thing, you know.
And then in Moscow, and you know, we got to this huge colossus of a competition now. You came 22nd. You've already said sort of how you felt about that. But how do you compare the competition in Moscow compared to your first song in Berlin? In terms of how it become, there was semi-finals, there was
I was actually really scared of the semi-finals because it was the first time for me trying semi-finals.
We'll be the star, no matter how far, shining. One day we'll sail away.
So I was actually scared that I wouldn't go through. So when I went through the semi-finals, then I was happy. With that, I was already happy. Because that is a huge step for Malta, as you can see even this year, unfortunately I didn't do it. So that was a huge step. I remember I screamed, which I never scream. So that I screamed when I came to know that I went through. And the fact that I was there at the end, in the final night, I mean, it was a good thing, but I did have the feeling that I didn't have the winning song. I did give my best like every other time, but I did know, you do know when you have the song and when you don't.
Yeah.
So I love ballads, and I had a ballad.
Mm-hmm.
And that year there were a lot of good ballads.
Yeah.
So.
And of course that year there was a runaway winner with Norway as well. So, you know.
That as well, we knew like from months before that he was the favourite.
So out of you, I mean, I think I may know because you've just said about you, Angel being your own song, but out of the 3 of your entries, which is your favourite?
They all have their own special thing, you know. The one that I love is what started me out. I mean, I was no one up until I sang the one that I love. And it just, not just put me there, it just blew me out immediately. So it is very special for me, and coming third, people still mention it today, being so close, so that was special. Angel, on the other hand, I wrote myself, so it's very special to me. When I sing it, I know exactly what I meant with every word there is. And What If We is special in its own way as well, because my father had just passed away, and before he passed away, he expressed the wish for me to go back to Eurovision, and he said, I believe that you can win this festival. So that was done for him. So they're all special in their own way.
Besides your songs then, do you have another Maltese Eurovision entry that you quite like? Or one that sticks in your head?
I like, this year's I liked.
Mm-hmm.
But my favourite of all time is Keep Me in Mind from Max Petteri.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge fan of Max Petteri. I'm a huge fan. And when I see him in shows over the island, it's like I'm always in France singing the songs. I'm like #1 fan. I love the guy. He's amazing.
And you love Eurovision?
I do love Eurovision, yes. I mean, one of the best things that happened to me thanks to Eurovision was meeting Johnny Logan, for example. That was, you know, he's the king of Eurovision. So for me, being a fan, not only a singer. It was amazing.
Downstairs when the party's happening, it is packed. So you seem to have a lot of fans who come to see you tonight.
Good. I'm getting really excited now that I know that there's a lot of people.
Well, they're very excited to see you. Are you pleased that so many people have come?
Yes, obviously. I didn't know what I was going to find, you know. I haven't been here for so many years. And I think the last time, no, the first time I was here after Eurovision, because my first Eurovision was in Birmingham. So the first time I was here was for the OGAE, which is in '98. So I didn't know, you know, after all these years, what the outcome would be. So I'm really, really happy to see all those people and knowing that they're here to see me.
Yeah. In 2010, you last released an album, Lols, and it got a great lot of publicity. And it was the fastest selling Maltese album you read somewhere in Malta. Can we have any plans of anything more coming soon from you? Another album, maybe?
At the moment, it's more like working on a song and really putting ourselves on one song, and then, you know, we leave some time and then we start doing another song. So probably down the line there's a time when all these songs will just be in an album. Probably I will just put everything in one album. But as of now, I don't have any plans for any new album. I have more plans for new songs more than an album. You know what I mean?
Perfect, yeah.